But I think your point that parents look to us and they come to us asking for guidance and advice in these areas is well taken. And in fact, I have had family members very recently ask me about middle school AAU programs.
Definitely.
And my cousin came to me, and I love him. I love his family. I love his father, his grandfather. And I referred my own family to the Bottom Ballers. And the reason I sent them to the Bottom Ballers was because of what you talked about, that trust factor. You know, I know Marvin Stinson very well. I know everybody that works in that Bottom Ballers program very well. This wasn't even on my radar screen. But I was worried about, like, you know, you hear about guys trying to tell kids to change programs, change schools, reclassify, you know, go play in another city. And I was like, yo, man, you don't need to deal with that. If you go with these guys, they just going to develop your kid in basketball. They're going to let you make all the parental decisions. So that's where I was coming from with it. This adds a whole other dimension that I need to be leery of. Right?
Sports talk, we gon' chop it up, we all in watch. On the television, give opinions, win or loss. Whether it's touchdown or 3 points across the court. TKO are going 12 rounds, we love sports. Wilson and Wood Sports Talk, can't take a season off. Sit back and listen, I'm just chillin', take the evening off. We out the win, we on the radio live again. Wilson and Woods, they going live and you can tell a friend. Tune in, Wilson and Woods.
I came up with a list of guys that I would recommend to families. And I just want to say it real quickly because I know if I had a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kid, I'd want to know who people like and who people trust. So the Bottom Ballers and Marvin Stinson. The Philly Mavericks with Dame Collins. I know Dame. I've seen him up close. I watched how he interacts with his kids. I talked to his parents. Same with the Philly Hurricanes with Chris Collar and them. Team Jacko with Mark Jackson.
Great program.
Great program. Philly Triple Threat, Eric Worley. Team Final. We had Rob in here last week, but he doesn't. You Rob big time. Nate Hodge handles all that middle school stuff. And Nate's a great guy. He does a good job with it. The We Are One program, Terrell Myers kind of assumes responsibility for the whole program. And the Philly Pride guys. Kamal Yard and Rodney Vini. We've kind of seen in the past few days how they care about their kids off the court. You know, one of their all-time great players just came home after some time away, and the first image you saw was those guys embracing him, you know, and celebrating him and trying to, you know, get him back into society. So there you have it, people. Those are programs that I know very well, up close, personal. I deal with these guys. I know these guys. I know these guys' wives. I know these guys' families. I've dealt with them in many, many different ways. Are there any programs or any additional information you'd like to add to this point?
Two quick things before we go to break. Just for parents who are just starting out or who are thinking about changing programs, make sure you go to practice. Make sure you sit and see how your coach interacts with players in practice. Don't just be the parent who drives up, lets the kid out of the gym, and then is done with it. Go sit in the gym and understand how the coach interacts with your son or with your daughter. Secondly, I would say go on the trips wherever they go and understand how the coach interacts with your kid at games and after and before games, because that gives you a peek into who the person is. A lot of parents tend to send the kids with the team or with another family. Make sure you go and see firsthand how the coach interacts with your son or daughter.
That's really good advice, and I would just add that what AAU is, if you really don't know, is some basketball, but most of the time it's spent in a van.
Right.
Riding seriously 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 hours. So you want to know who's spending all this time with your kids in these vans and in these hotel rooms overnight.
Sports talk, we gon' chop it up, we all in watch. On the television, give opinions, win or loss. Whether it's touchdown or 3 points across the court. TKO are going 12 rounds, we love sports. Wilson and Wood Sports Talk, can't take a season off. Sit back and listen, I'm just chillin', take the evening off. We out the win, we on the radio live again. Wilson and Woods, they going live and you can tell a friend. Tune in, Wilson and Woods.